Cool. So, that covers backups. Do you guys still see tapes out there?
We do, and that's basically upon recommendation of the software provider. It depends on what they like, what they
Because
use.
every EMR vendor is going to have a suggested.
Everyone's different. We go by their specifications, and if that's what they recommend, that's what they want to use, then we'll use it. We'll also additionally we'll set them up with another backup on an NAS device.
There you go. So you can always do both. Even if your EMR vendor recommends or prefers one, see, that's where the IT experts come into play. They may say, well, this works, this is what we're going to do because they recommend it, and that's really what they're going to want if we have a situation that we need to connect with them on. But we might also recommend this, and plus with the network attached it's easy for me to say, network attached storage device, or NAS, that's the letters for short. Like you said, like Kevin said, they're really inexpensive, a lot of bang for the buck.
Right.
So, definitely makes sense. How would you describe most of the challenges that the practices are facing now when they're transitioned to EMR? Because there's a pretty big paradigm shift, particularly from one that's just been doing practice management, aka scheduling and billing, aka our computer system, but it's not EMR. Because a lot of docs think of, well, that's our computer system.
Right.
Well, what's it doing for you? Well, basically scheduling and billing, right? So there's a big transition going from that, because typically the docs don't really use the computer system. That's why they refer to it as that computer system,
Right.
our computer system, not my computer system, right?
Those old systems, I mean, they could run through them so fast, when they're just scheduling a patient, and there's not a whole lot to them. They're just so scaled down, and when they go, the learning curve is just massive when you go from an old system like that to what's out there today. And so just the more they have to learn, the longer that process is going to be. They're just like you just said, the docs probably didn't even touch that old system. They wouldn't even recognize it.
I mean, at that point, the receptionist or whoever was up front was
Exactly.
doing the scheduling, and whoever was in back was doing the billing, and the doc just said, how's it going,
A lot of these old systems are also legacy terminal systems.
Right.
So they're going from a keyboard environment to a mouse environment, and they have to learn Windows or whatever.
A lot of them are
OS.
the green screen with the text,
Right.
on the thing. It's not even Windows, right? So now you're upgrading a whole new world.
Right. So there's a big training curve with a lot of the employees, not only doctors but the office staff as well.
Good point.
And also with the conversion of the data from the old system to the new system, especially if it's an old legacy system, that can be pretty difficult.
Let's talk about that for a minute. When you guys see EMRs implemented and you help implement them, let's talk about the conversion process. First, there's the behavioral shift, like there's the workflow shift, right? So there's that learning curve there. So there's a transition, and there's some challenges there where I want to come back to. But there's this whole conversion process of, our old scheduling, or patient lists, or old billables, receivables, those kind of things. What's that like? What do you guys see?
Most of the customers usually leave their old systems in place for almost up to a year to clear their whole AR, to clear their schedules off. So there's a time frame there where you're running two systems.
Some overlap, basically.
Right,
Here's the new
exactly.
system coming in. Let's keep the old one because it's easier to
Any
just
data they didn't
transition.
want to pull from that old one or
Right.
whatever, they may have to go back and find that, and then it's just always good to keep it there for a good year or so. I mean, you don't. Usually now we'll give everyone they'll have a new Windows-based terminal so that we can give them access to that old system basically we'll just stick that system in their closet and they'll be able to access it from their new computer.
Just kind of sit it over to the side, keep it up and running.
Right.
Really
but-
don't even know it's there.
You don't even know it's there. It kind of goes off to the wayside.
But
Which
they want to make sure they don't lose any money from the old AR. They're trying
Right,
to work down, so-
particularly if you've got accounts receivable, you can't afford to shut off the old system.
Correct.
Right.
Because that's where all the information is. But, like you said, might not make a whole lot of sense to pay extra to get all that info into the new system.
Exactly.
And in some cases, it's really difficult to do that, right?
It is an expensive proposition. There's technical difficulties at times, converting databases from one format to another. So a lot of our customers choose to enter all that manually, and just it's a time-consuming
Just
process.
pull some demographic information and take everything else and put it in there. So-
Right.
And it depends. It varies from customer to customer.
Get your basic patient list and get rolling.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Exactly.
And, there's also the charts, but a whole other topic. Uh,